Welcome to Tegomatics. In this video, we'll be learning two kinds of redox titration. The first is Iodometry and the second Iodometry. If this is your first time of watching my video or you're yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, share the video, give your comments. I would love to reply your comments. For these two kinds of titration, we'll be needing the same sets of reagents. In other words, the reagents we'll be using for Iodimetry will also be used for Iodometry. The first reagent is iodine solution. Then we need sodium thiosulphate, and we need an indicator. That indicator is starch. So we're using a starch indicator. Just as mentioned, we need our iodine solution, then the sodium thiosulphate, and our starch indicator. Now let us proceed to iodimetry. Iodometry involves direct titration using iodine solution as the titrant. What does that mean? It means that the iodine solution is filled into the burette. Just as we could see right now, the iodine solution is being filled into the burette. So, what goes into the conical flask is the sodium thiosulphate. So the sodium thiosulphate is sucked with the pipette and transferred into the conical flask, just as we're doing right now. The starch indicator is added before the titration begins in Iodometry, preferably 2 to 3 drops. 2 to 3 drops. Then we shake it, then the titration begins. The titration continues, or let me use the word, it proceeds until the endpoint is reached. How do we know the endpoint? There would be a color change. And how do you know this color change? What will be this color change? Let us watch and see. Wow! Now we arrive at the end point and our color change is blue. Now let us proceed to Iodometry. Let's not forget that even in Iodometry we'll be using the same set of reagents, which include iodine solution, sodium thiosulphate, and our starch indicator. What is Iodometry? Iodometry involves an indirect titration of iodine liberated by a reaction with the analytes. In this method, the sodium thiosulphate serves as the titrant. The sodium thiosulphate serves as the titrant. As such, it is filled into the burette. Just as you could see right now, we're filling the sodium thiosulphate into the burette. Then the iodine solution is sucked with a pipette and transferred into the conical flask. Just as you could see right now, you suck it with the pipette and you transfer it into the conical flask. Then, take note that indicator is not added at the beginning of this titration. In other words, the titration will proceed until it gets to the middle, where we have a pale yellow solution in the conical flask. Just as we're doing right now, we're titrating until we get a pale yellow solution. Yes, a pale yellow solution. That is it. That is it. Then after getting this pale yellow solution, we then add our indicator. The starch indicator is added. Let's not forget, preferably 2 to 3 drops. So we go back to our titration and we continue again until we get to the end point. The end point is colorless.